Today's Monday, September 9th, 2024. What seems to be very obvious was very difficult to really grasp. And that the fact is this: the market is dynamic. The market is dynamic. It means that Asian market, the European market, and the US market, the volatility is different. Also, at the opening of each of the markets, there's some significant volatility. And also, there are news that occurs at a certain period that impacts the direction of the security. It either goes up, it goes sideways, or it just stays idle. One thing for sure is that even though it's in a dynamic state, at any moment, a breakout can occur either up or down. And according to what Al-Buck says, that he normally trades the US 30. But there will be some quiet periods where the US 30 will not be so volatile. Then he moves into some other security to compensate for the lack of volatility in the US 30. One thing for sure, I have to be ever vigilant and diligent about being on top of things, to be dynamically matching. Because what will happen is that my thesis will match, but the market will deviate. So it is essentially a race course that is ever changing. And sometimes the market runs at about 300 miles an hour. Sometimes the market runs at about 100 miles an hour. But at every corner, there's probably some sort of surprise waiting. That is why it is so difficult to make money from the market. And so in order to make money in the market, it is always constantly in the process of defining where the trend is. It is a constant struggle to define where the trend is. And it is dynamic. That is why the market is so dynamic. That is why people who fall asleep in the steering wheel, like I did, a long time ago, my college buddy and myself decided to go to Las Vegas. I was in my Ford Bronco, and he was in the passenger seat. And it was in a long stretch on the, I believe it's the 95, between the border of Idaho and Utah, Idaho and Nevada, and somewhere between Winnemucca. And here I am going towards it, and then all of a sudden, I hear this rattling noise, and I open my eyes at 75 miles an hour. Luckily, the road was straight, but I veered off, and there was a bunch of rocks on the side where vegetation is, where the road ended. So one thing for sure is that I had to be ever vigilant, and I cannot fall asleep while I'm driving that Bronco. The market is definitely very, very dynamic. It's something that I did not know, because my mind was stuck in a particular gear and a particular direction. And when the market shifted, I would get aggressive even more and then throttle forward, causing me to lose even more. That's what happened. That's what's going on. I have to be dynamic.